Welcome. I'm your host, Susan Grau. Join me for an extraordinary journey that surpasses the boundaries of the unknown. I offer insights into this life, the afterlife, near-death experiences, and healing for the soul. You'll receive answers to the questions about where your loved ones are in spirit, and a clearer understanding of where we go when we leave this consciousness. The truth of life and the afterlife will be revealed. Join me right here, right now on Infinite Life, Infinite Wisdom. Welcome to Infinite Life, Infinite Wisdom, where we talk all things afterlife. I'm your host, Susan Grau. I am an author, a teacher of the metaphysical arts, an intuitive medium, and a speaker. Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you're here. So today, I made a list, actually, of things that I can go over to help you understand the spirit language. It's not English, and that's why I can talk to someone from Japan or from Mexico or from Greece, because it is not our language here. It is a universal language that they have in the spirit world, and a medium gets more adept at connecting in and getting that language. But at the end of the day, there are codes to the signs. And it's not just a butterfly flying in your face. It has meaning. And how do we know what that meaning is? So that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's take a deep dive. All right. So decoding spirit's messages, and not an easy thing to do. I'm actually writing a book on that right now. And it's because spirit rarely hands us a full sentence. So they're not walking in and giving us just an easy, hey, I'm here. How you doing? They come in synchronicities. They come with symbols. They come with offering us love notes and little tiny gestures that we see around us, maybe a butterfly or that I call that a love note, by the way, and things like that come to us. And there's a timing to it. So you want to notice the timing. Spirit's messages always arrive in moments where we need them. So they are charged with meaning. It's not just a random message. And when we're grieving, or we're asking a question, or we need a reassurance, we have to ask ourselves, what was I thinking or feeling before I got this connection, or before I saw this sign, before this sign came to me? What was I thinking or feeling? So if you're whispering to your loved ones and you're saying their name and a butterfly lands on your hand, that's timing that's pretty strong. And I would say, yes, I hear you. Thank you for the message. So we want to encourage them. We want to talk to them. Also looking for symbols. I think it's very important that we watch for the symbols. And as we go through, I love nature symbols. They're my favorite. So when I'm talking to my spirit mom or dad, I always ask, give me a symbol in nature, because I can really pick up that. So we're going to go back to the butterfly. Butterfly means transformation. It's rebirth. It's the soul making a change. A bird is freedom and perspective and healing. A flower blooming may speak of beauty returning after sorrow. So those are just some examples of what the symbols of nature are. But the personal connection, let's talk about that first. Ask, what does this symbol mean to me personally? Spirit uses your associations more than any textbook meaning, or my meaning. My meaning is different than your meaning. So if your mother loved roses and you smell them, that's her signature. Or if your child used to chase butterflies, and then butterflies are always around you and they carry that essence of being in your energy all the time, that would be a message, and it has meaning. So I'm going to go through my list that I wrote down. So if I'm looking up and down, I apologize, but it's a lot. It's a lot to teach you. We have to trust the repetition. So spirit confers by repeating. So one butterfly might feel like chance, but if butterflies start appearing at birthdays, anniversaries, moments of longing, spirit's saying, this is us, don't doubt it. And I just love that. So we just have to be willing to trust what we're receiving. That's the hard part, isn't it? The willingness might even be there, but the trusting is very difficult. Feeling the energy, not just the sign. What is the energy behind it? So the true message isn't only in the butterfly, it's how you feel when it appears. Did you feel a sudden warmth? Did tears shift in you? Did it bring you comfort? Was it saying, this sign carries my love? What are you experiencing with that sign? That's decoding that sign. It's breaking it down. Very, very powerful information. And you want to step into that beauty and feel that energy of the sign, because that tells you what your loved one's trying to say. So I used to say to people, you're going to get a butterfly. And they'd say, well, what does that mean, Susan? What does a butterfly mean? What's the message? And I would say, what are you feeling when you see it? What are you experiencing? So I might see butterflies all day long, and then I see a butterfly one day and I go, oh my God, I just thought of my mom. There's meaning behind that. It's not a accident. And the butterfly's messages comes in layers. So you'll get the surface layer, which is the symbol, right? Transformation, soul's freedom, beauty, and flight. And then you get the personal level. This was my daughter's favorite creature. She's with me. And then the emotional level. You feel comfort instead of despair. Hear that. You feel comfort instead of despair. And Spirit's real message is, I haven't left, I'm free, and I'm still loving you, and I'm with you. So there's a message behind that delivery of whatever that symbol is. So here's some steps to take. When you receive a sign, write it down. What was I feeling or asking for just before it appeared? What does this symbol mean to me personally? That's my most important one right there. What does it mean personally? So I might see a Raggedy Ann doll and I'm doing a reading, and I always fight Spirit when I see stuff like that. So I'm like, I'm not saying it. They go, say it. I'm not saying it. Say it. And then finally I give in and I say it. And I think they're just going to say, yeah, I loved Raggedy Ann dolls, or my dad gave me a Raggedy Ann doll. But instead I get things like, oh my God, the last time I saw my grandmother, she had dressed us in Raggedy Ann to go trick-or-treating. And I talk about that story all the time. I know this is her. So what it means to you personally matters more than what maybe it means to the medium or just the sign itself, because you're going to get them all the time. So that is, another one. What am I feeling? What did I experience in that moment? Was I feeling joy? Was I feeling sorrow? Was I feeling grief? Was I feeling busy? What was going on inside of me? Joy. Those things matter. So you want to tap into that. And then, have I seen this before? And is Spirit building a pattern? Is Spirit building a pattern? This is really important because patterns mean something. So if I'm seeing it every time I think of my mom, I'm seeing that butterfly come, and it happens every single time, or most of the time, even 90% of the time. That's not coincidence. That's a pattern developing. And I start to learn that language. And as a medium, we see all kinds of patterns, and we learn the language. So if I see a balloon, it always means birthday. So every time I do a reading, when I say birthday, it's not because I'm just guessing. It's because I see a birthday either just passed or coming up within a week or two. I don't go out further because, of course, we'll find one. But it has very strong meaning to me. So I'm always making sure that I'm tapping into what is that meaning for me? What is the pattern here? And over time, you build a spirit dictionary, I call it, of meanings that are sacred and specific just for you. So when you go to a medium, it's really cool when they can step into one of those meanings or one of those patterns that they couldn't know. I mean, how powerful is that? And it lets you know that your loved one is there and they're resonating in your energy. So the guide for interpreting signs. Spirit speaks universal language. I want to repeat that. It's delivered through highly personal symbols. The key is learning to tune into both the essence and the symbol and your personal connection to it. Okay, so that's what we just covered. So let's go into what you can do to do that. Step 1. These are what I wrote down. Anchor the moment. Pause and ask, what was happening in my heart or mind just before that sign appeared? Spirit signs are responses, not random events. So your inner state is often the question that Spirit's answering. Isn't that cool? I think it is. Read the essence of the symbol. That's step 2. Every sign carries an inherent vibration. These are some common ones. Butterflies, transformation, rebirth, soul, release from pain. Birds, freedom, higher perspective, lifting you up. numbers 111444777, etc. Repeated repetition signals emphasis. Repetition signals emphasis. Remember that. One's for beginnings, 4 for protection, 7 for spiritual alignment. They have a repetition to them, and it puts an emphasis on what they're trying to give you. So that vibration is stronger. Songs, emotional memory. I'm with you in this moment. So songs are very powerful because we have specific memories with these songs, and it helps them to connect into us and to resonate in that with us. So they're going to send you songs often. Now, if you only hear it once, maybe not. But if you're hearing it over and over, so for me, I'll go in my car and I'll hear it on the radio, and then I'll go in the grocery store and I hear it again, and then I go home and there it is again. I know that is for me a repetitious message that I am here with you, and whoever that might be that the song connects me into. Scents, perfume, smoke, flowers, a loved one's signature, their essence made present. Their essence made present. So think about that. Anything that connects into their essence comes to the present moment. And that's a way to decode what that message is. And what would be the message? I'm here with you. I love you. I'm in your energy. I'm helping you. Whatever it is we're doing that makes sense to us. So you want to click into what makes sense to you. Animals, dog, cats, deers, etc. Loyalty, comfort, gentleness, guidance in earthly life. Very important. When I see an animal and I'm thinking about this, just go to intuition, not even mediumship. If I'm thinking about getting closer to my family or doing something differently, I might see a wolf, because wolves are family. And that's what they remind me of. That's what resonates in my essence. And so I'm connecting into that. And I might see one on paper. I might see one on the computer. I might see one on my phone. But if I see it over and over again, I know I'm getting a message to maybe spend more time with my family. And because that's my symbol with wolves. Okay. Lights flicker, presence, energy shifts. I'm near. So if I'm sitting on the couch and all of a sudden the lights are flickering, I'm hearing I'm near. That's the message. The light flickering is not the message. It's the symbol. It's the sign. But the message is, I'm here beside you. So step 3, personal connection comes first. Spirit chooses symbols that you alone will recognize. Trust your own associations more than any universal definition. If your grandmother always baked with cinnamon, the sudden scent of cinnamon is going to be her saying hello, right? So it's not just about, oh, my grandmother sent cinnamon. What is she saying to you? Maybe she wants you to add more cinnamon to the cookies, or she wants you to start baking because you haven't been baking. So you have to go into, what does this resonate in for you? How does this make sense for you? So that you can then expand your awareness and connect in. So if your child adored rainbows, then a rainbow will forever be their calling card to you, right? But sometimes we see rainbows after the rain and we want to deny. But we don't see them all the time when there's no rain. When you see a rainbow or a prism, what does that carry for me? What is that message? I'm here, I'm happy. Rainbows bring joy. They bring positive energy. So they're giving you that joy and positive energy and letting you know they're okay and they're with you and they're in your energy at that time, whatever it is you're doing. And then we're going to go back to step 4, notice the repetition. One sign can be brushed aside as coincidence. We can go, well, that might not be anything. Repetition is spirit's underlying message. It's their underlying message. So butterflies, every time you ask for reassurance, that's an underlying message. The same song playing in unexpected places, underlying message. A number sequence that shows up on receipts, clocks, and license plates, underlying message. Those messages give us information. So if I'm driving down the road and I'm feeling stressed out and I'm behind in my time or something's gone on, and all of a sudden I start seeing receipts and clocks, license plate, cars going by with numbers on them, maybe a sticker on the back, things are shifting and I keep seeing these numbers over and over and over, or names over and over, or even a receipt, that I might be, doing something and I keep seeing the same receipt of information. That's what that means. So that is the message. I'm here and I'm helping you get through whatever it is you're struggling with. Repetition is saying this is real, don't doubt. So there's a message behind it, behind that repetition. And we miss that. A medium doesn't. A medium will pick up on that. They can give you that message. It's not just about the butterflies, not just about the numbers. If you give them the opportunity to do that. But really, what it's for is you. Hopefully your loved ones give them the message that's just for you. But that's who it's really for. And so what does it resonate for you? How does that step in the energy for you? What does it make sense for you? Like, what about it makes sense to you? And then you go with that. And that'll be really help. Step 5, feel the energy behind the sign. The true message isn't in the object itself. It's in the energy that floods you when it happens. It's not the object. And this is why I'm writing my book about this and helping people understand that it's not the objects we see, although it might be a high. There's more to it. And what is it that floods in our energy? What are we feeling when we see that? Again, I might see a butterfly 100 times and not think anything. And then all of a sudden I see one and it floods in that my mom is next to me. They're giving me the message. Peace, warmth, goosebumps, tears, shift from pain to comfort when spirits are saying, this is my love reaching out to you. It's really beautiful. So the butterfly's message in practice, essence, the soul is free, alive, transformed. Again, personal link. You want to link the personal feeling. This was my daughter's favorite creature. Link the personal feeling, emotional shift from despair to comfort in moments. Repetition, link the feeling. Butterflies keep appearing around me on meaningful dates. The message distilled. I am still here. I am free. My love hasn't left you. Okay. So let's try some exercises in that. Let's work on your spirit dictionary. Keep a small journal just for signs. Each time one appears, write, what were you feeling and thinking before it came? The sign itself. What does it mean universally? And then what it means personally. And what you felt in that moment. All of those matter to get the message, to decode what that message is for you. Over time, you'll notice spirit creating a unique vocabulary just for you, like a private dictionary across the veil. I love it. Again, balloons going up in the air, or I'll see white flowers, and usually that means anniversary for me, or flowers went on a grave. White flowers went on a grave. So those are my usual messages. They're not always my messages, but my usual ones. Spirit messages are really rarely one size fits all. They are love translated into symbols chosen just for you. When you combine universal meanings with your personal connections and feelings, you discover exactly what the spirit world is saying. That's the beauty of connecting into your loved ones. What are they saying to me? Because I honestly don't think just seeing a butterfly is enough. I know it's not enough for the medium. What's enough is when we start to decode those messages. So in my new book that's going to be coming out a while later, I talk all about this. So how does the medium connect in? How do we decode the language of spirit, basically? That's the name of the book. And how do we understand what it is they're trying to tell us? We want to resonate in that understanding so that it's not just a butterfly. It's not just a symbol, but it actually hits your soul. It actually tells you the story of the connection. So when you're having a conversation with someone, you're just having a conversation, right? We're going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and you're getting a response. And that's easy. So once you learn what the messages are, you're getting a response. And you can give a response back. So if my mother comes in the form of a butterfly, she may be telling me that I need to slow down because I'm feeling very stressed in that moment and that I need to look at the beauty in the world. And she's right there to help me do that. that might be the message, then I can converse with her and say, Mom, thank you so much for that message. You're right. I do need to slow down. I do need to get more engaged. Then I'll hear something in my head like absolutely, you've always been so busy. Your whole life, you go, 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 and you never stop. And then I'll say something to my mom like, and this is all telepathy. I'll say something to my mom like, I know, but Dad always taught me that you have to work hard for what you want. And if you really want it and you want to help people, you've got to work really hard. And then my mom will say, yes, but you'll have to take care of yourself first. So I'm having a conversation with my mom in spirit because I decoded the message she was trying to give me. It isn't easy, again, but it is simple. It's a matter of doing the work. You have to do the work to get the message to come in properly. And you have to be willing to step into that energy at all times, be willing. So I know there's times where we can't. I might be at work and I'm working with someone else and my mom might pop in on me. But there are those times. But when I am thinking about them or I am meeting them or I am feeling low in energy, or I'm just feeling like I need more love, I need more attention, I need to connect in, I love when the signs start coming. And they always do. I don't know if you guys saw that spirit behind me, but you'll see it if you go back and look. If you're watching this on YouTube, it was like a shadow that just like went over me, kind of on my right side. So, spirits are the language of love. And they want to talk to you. They want to help you. Now, they can't get involved in everything in our lives, and there's a reason why they can't get involved in everything in our lives, because if they did get involved in everything in our lives, they'd fix everything in our lives. That would not be a good way to live. We would never grow and learn. But they do want you to know they're there. They do want you to know that they love you. They do want you to know that you're safe and that they're walking this walk with you. If you go on vacation, talk to them. Ask them to come. You'll be shocked how many signs you'll actually get. So many. It'll just keep coming and coming and coming because you're now having a conversation with them. And I tell my students this, it's just a conversation. It isn't as difficult as we certainly make it, we make it so hard. We truly do. So what I want you to do is pay attention to the repetition. That's really, really important. Probably one of the most important parts of what I'm teaching you is to look for the repetition. And when it's repetitious, you want to stop and pause and say, now, today I've seen 5 of these. What's going on? What do I need to know? Tomorrow I see 5 more. What's going on? What do I need to know? And if you tap into what's going on in your life, you're going to tap into what they're trying to tell you. They're your greatest support system, guys. They want to help you in everything. They just can't do the work for you. And again, if they could, they would fix everything about you. But they are never gone. They are always there. And again, they're not interested in things that you're doing that are private. That would really creep me out, actually. If I'm doing something I don't want them to see, that would creep me out. And there's times where I'll say, okay, go away now because I'm going to bed with my husband or, whatever's going on in my life, go away now. I don't want you here. I'm busy. But, they're not interested in that. They're not interested in our humanness. They're interested in our love. And that connection cannot be broken. It is a tie. And it is the divine to the divine. Your love connects you into the divinity of the afterlife. That's what your love does. Hate doesn't do it. Grief makes it difficult. Busyness makes us not pay attention. So we have to be present. And I say this on almost every podcast. Life is in session, be present. Because if you're not present, you are not going to connect in with them. You will miss it. You'll miss everything. And I don't want that for you. I want you to be present and I want you to feel them and know they're there and know what those messages are. So think about the signs that you've received. It could be something random, like really random. I remember telling someone I saw lizards doing push-ups. I've only seen that 2 or 3 times in my whole career of reading. And one of them said to me, yeah, I have a lizard and I went in there this morning, it was doing push-ups. I mean, so these things are important. Or I was talking to a friend of mine at lunch and I said, Sammy's talking about bubble gum or bubble gum. And I had written it down. And she said, oh my gosh, he's talking about bubbles. When, we put bubbles out and I didn't know her at this time. We put bubbles out when Sammy passed and we went to the park and did bubbles. I mean, that is a sign that has a message. So what was the message? I'm here, Mom. I'm listening to the conversation. I'm having lunch with you. And it's the same thing with music. Music tells us, oh, you're in it for a good time right now. You're listening to music. And they love that. And so they want to have a good time with you. So as you're going through your journey, pay attention to what's being given to you. It's not that you have to do it 24/7. I just want you to try. Just try. And I say when my book comes out, which is going to be quite a while, so you'll probably forget, but when my book comes out, I really want you to learn about it and study how do you get to the signs and what the signs actually mean, not just getting a sign. And again, where are you in that moment? Where's your heart in that moment? What do you need to allow yourself to do? Maybe set aside what you're doing. Maybe stand there for a second and take it in. We don't rest. We don't take things in. We ignore things. We avoid things. But we don't rest very easily. And when we're in grief, that is our sole job, is to heal and to allow, letting go and allowing that grief to come in. And so we might be looking for the signs, but we're not present for the signs. So in the very beginning, I note that Spirit will give us lots and lots of signs so that they're still here and they're okay. Well, once they've gotten you to the place where you know that they're okay because you've gotten so many signs, that's when I start to notice it kind of tapers off a little bit. Because if we were looking for nothing but signs, we wouldn't live life. So they need to back away a little bit and they need to let us live our lives. And so it's important that they don't inundate us with sign after sign after sign after sign like we want. I've said this in other podcasts, but I'll say it again. If every time I got in bed and went to sleep, I could see my loved ones, I would never get out of bed. And they want us out of bed because our job here is to live the human condition and do life. And in order to do life on life's terms, we have to be present in the human condition. But that doesn't mean they're not doing it with us. So always remember they're trying to connect into your love. They love you. They support you. They're there for you. And do your journaling. You will find after about 6 months, you'll be able to connect in with them in a way that you never could. And you won't even understand what happened. But it's like anything, when you practice it and you understand it, which is the hard part, is understanding this. That's why I wanted to teach it today. Because I think that once we understand it, we go, oh, there's that aha moment, where we go, oh my gosh, it's not just the butterfly. It has meaning. They have meaning. They are connecting in with you every chance they get, but they won't disrupt you living life on life's terms. It's very important to them, so that you can learn and grow and expand and be more. Because that's why you're here. But you will never lose the connection to the divine. Your soul is divine, the divine. And that connection will always be there. So trust what you get, let go and allow, and watch for those signals that I just gave you. What were you feeling when that butterfly came in front of you? What were you actually feeling? Maybe nothing, so maybe that butterfly didn't have meaning, but you'll find that you'll start to recognize. Maybe an hour before you were crying over losing someone, or you were thinking about them because you were cooking their favorite dish. So you want to connect in, you want to know what it is they're experiencing and what they're trying to give us in our experience, because they're experiencing it too. Isn't that a trip to think about? Like, we're experiencing it and they're experiencing it. Because it's a two-way connection. It's not just one way. So I'm wishing you all a beautiful day. Go do your journaling, start learning about spirit. If you want me to talk about it more, please comment in the comment sections. Please let me know what it is you'd like me to talk about on this podcast. I would love to share with you more and more. You can do that on YouTube. Just go in and type in, or anywhere else that they allow that. So, all right, everyone. It was wonderful speaking with you today, and you all take care of you. And remember, they're really only a heartbeat away. I loved our shared time together during this extraordinary soul journey on infinite life, infinite wisdom. Until next time, may the infinite wisdom we've uncovered guide you on your own unique path. Please don't forget to hit the follow button so you don't miss any new episodes. My book, Infinite Life, Infinite Lessons, is available now. Wishing you healing and love until we meet again. This is Susan Grau. Remember, they are only a heartbeat away. Take care of you.